Thanks for joining me on episode 5 of my Continental Divide Trail series. I hiked from the Gila River to Pytown, New Mexico during the COVID year of 2020. This long-form adventure captures the diverse landscapes of rolling mesas, pine forests and high desert vistas. Join me for trail tales of freezing cold nights, torturous river crossings, navigation tips and the quiet charm of a shuttered Pytown. So I woke up this morning. I was cold all night last night. Couldn't work out why. Thought maybe my core temperature might have dropped from walking through the river all day yesterday. It was cold even when I first got into bed. And then I look around this morning and I soon work out why. I don't know whether you can tell, but the tent is covered in frost. And then have a look at this. These are my runners. As you can see, they are frozen solid. Can't even move them. How I'm going to put them on this morning, I don't know. My pants are hanging up on the tree out there. I don't know if you can see over there, maybe. I'm not sure what they're going to be like either. If I look up here, all that is covered in ice. Everything. It's -5, but it must have been more of a wind chill. It feels worse than that. Here are my socks that I had hanging up, and you can see they're frozen solid. It's not going to be a fun morning. Okay, so I've got my shoes on, but you can see I can't do them up because the laces are still frozen solid. And funnily enough, I'm almost thinking it's going to be worthwhile getting in the water. Hopefully it might be warmer in there, even if it's only for a split second. But after that, I'm sure it's going to be even more painful. But onwards and upwards. Well, I've been hiking for about 3 minutes and the first crossing is here already. I was hoping I might have been a bit longer. Tell me I don't have to do it, please. Well, that was painful. At least there's one positive came out of it. I got to do my shoes up. So it's off we go. I think that might be my first bare footprint. I'm not sure, but that's what it looks like to me. Now it's early in the morning and the bear concern levels are slightly up when you're walking along the riverbank through this pain in the butt, stringy stuff, hard going. I thought I'd talk about crossing the river and how you go about it. So firstly, without trekking poles, in some places I don't think it would be possible because it's too deep and the current's too strong. So when you've got trekking poles, you've got 4 points of contact, which just helps you. The other thing where they're good for is you can put the pole out in front of you, because in the river there's very often holes and you might be sort of standing on a level and the next step is into a big drop. So as I said, with the trekking poles, they just help you brace yourself against the current, and they're so important just in determining the depth of the river where you cross, because you just don't know. You might be on one level standing on a rock and the next step is a big drop into a hole, and that you don't want. But without them, I don't know that you would cross in some of the places, because the river has been running really quite strongly. So on the other side of that dam is Gila Creek, and that's come up out of the Gila. There's a steep climb up and over that, and we've come out to Snow Lake. Gila, up that little Gila Creek, past Snow Lake, and now we're following this little stream on the left, and it's winding back up over through this pass, up over the top of those hills there. I'm about to be exposed to another stark change in CDT scenery. After the confines of the Gila River, the route follows a little stream upwards and then opens up into a wide grassy valley with high hills on both sides. The track goes up and up and up and up, and then I reach about 8,000 feet and I'm in a huge wide open plain. There are snow-capped mountains back behind me, although not that far away. The views are incredible and go on for miles in any which way you look. It's just stunning. I spend about 2 hours walking across this plain and the wind is howling. The wind is so strong it's blowing me sideways sometimes. So it's crazy windy up here. I just came up that valley over there. I had to give you a 360. Now those snow-capped mountains over there in the distance. After coming out of the confines of the Gila River, the trails open up to this massive, wide open. So getting towards the end of the day, I'm in the middle of a 20-mile gravel road walk. It's been a long day. I've done nearly 40 k's already. It's at about 25 miles. Been going for total time 10 hours and 12. Probably keep going for another half an hour or so. I'm starting to look for a campsite. See what turns up. Just had a look around. Look at that little mountain just there, snow covered. It's just about to go down. Camp for the night. Did 42 k's in the end. About 10 hours of walking. And as I showed you before, which is an anonymous look, that snowy mountain in the distance and the big wide open. I think that's what made it so cold last night. So hopefully we'll be alright. See how we go. Morning all, it's about 6:30, sun's just coming up. It's -2, not as bad as yesterday's -5, still pretty cold. Time to get up and at 'em. Just experienced my second bit of trail magic. Been walking along this road now about an hour and a half. That's after I wasted 20 minutes having to go back and pick up my headphones, which I left at camp. That was a pain, could have been worse. Anyway, so two folks in a Polaris Ranger, camouflage, hunters I assume. Just drove up, gave me a bottle of water, which is nice because I'm just about out. I know there's a spring about 8 miles ahead that saves me having to worry till then, so that was nice. And here we have the first sight of snow on the ground. So we're halfway between Doc Campbell's Post and Pyetown. So there's been a bit of snow on the hills around this place. I'll be interested to see whether I do run into any more. Up ahead I spot Chip Crusher with a donkey following him. He spots me and waits for me to catch up. You'll remember Chip Crusher took the Gila High route while I waded through the river no less than 170 times all up. It's been 3 days since we last hiked together. I should lasso him and put my pack on him. Got a whole little group here. This is Dutchman Spring. Should have got water maybe on the little creek by the side of the road, but too late, so this is it. Actually, filter's alright, it's not too bad. So I've been climbing today, and not only does it make you do hard work that way, the trail likes to put these little obstacles in your path as well, just to keep you on your toes. Up at 9,142 feet here, so finally we might get to enjoy a little bit of downhill for a while. And here we have our first bit of snow actually on the trail. Still icy. Oh no, post holing through the snow. I'm finding my energy levels are very low today. I assume it's a combination of a big day yesterday and the rising elevation of today. How's that for a good balancing act? Here's our water source, turned up just at the right time, starting to run out. And here we have more snow on trail. There's Chip Crusher up ahead. That's the size of this print. How's the beautiful clouds? Finally made it to the peak. After eventually getting up and over the summit, the trail descends down into a beautiful ponderosa pine forest. The trail is easy on the feet and I get to walk along a bit now. Most of the afternoon, however, is spent climbing and more climbing. Steep too, the kind where you can barely put one foot in front of the other. But I slow my pace and keep at it, and thankfully it finally evens out. Well, here's the reward for all that climbing. Looking out over that massive plain. Beautiful blue sky, white clouds. Fantastic. All set up. And over here, a legend chip crusher. Here's got the fire up and raging. We find a great camp spot amongst the pines and the day is finally over. Chip crusher gets a fantastic warming fire going and dinner is had tonight staring into the flames. What a great way to end a big day. Morning everybody. So I had a good night's sleep last night, only got down to 0 degrees. And funnily enough, I think that's 0 or anything above is pretty good. But I just thought I'd point out, here's the trail we came down last night and there's my tent. And on the trail right here, there's a big bear poo. I woke up feeling refreshed after a good night's sleep. I even woke up at 6:45 AM, which is a sleep-in for me. After a tough day yesterday, I needed it. Although it was only 0 degrees Celsius when I got up, it oddly didn't feel that cold. I think 0 is manageable, it's just when it gets into the minuses that it starts to hurt. I started out walking at about 8 AM and instantly noticed how much better I felt compared to yesterday. After the huge uphill we did late yesterday, it was nice to start off trending downhill. A nice easy warm up for a change. And on the best sort of trail, dirt covered in pine needles for added shock absorption. Thank you, Ponderosa Pines.
At 29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set them rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you.
We've made it to Aragon well and chip crusher. Oh yes, we're noticing. Let me Anyway, back to you, chip crusher. How would you describe the state of this water? Here at Aragon Well, we stock up on water for the day ahead. The water looks clear, but there is heaps of algae growing up from the bottom. The water looks green, but it is what it is, and so it's that or go thirsty. On closer inspection, there are lots of little fish in this tank swimming around, as well as a white carp about a foot long. Actually, the water comes out looking pretty clear, and after filtering, tastes just fine. So I camel up some more, have lunch, and then stock up with 3 litres for the rest of the day and tomorrow morning. Hiking out, I quickly noticed the extra 3 kilograms, which isn't much fun, especially since we are back to walking uphill. We head out into grazing land and the trail looks like it should be easier than it is. It is very rocky and filled with cow hoof print divots from the last time it rained and the track was muddy. Now it is rock hard and makes twisting an ankle very easy if you make a wrong step. This happens a lot, but my trekking poles are a real saver. Typically the day ends with another 9 mile or 14 kilometre uphill battle. My feet feel brittle and my body aches, but the top finally comes and we descend a short way to set up camp at 6 p.m. This is the campsite for tonight. It's day 22. Another 20-mile day. A couple more days and we'll be in Pie Town for a 2 days rest. When I look back, the day was nothing special. There were only a couple of nice views. Today was really just about grinding out some miles. As it turns out, all 20 of them, and I don't think I could have done any more. No big fire tonight. It's quickly making dinner and into bed. I got going slightly earlier than Chip Crusher and headed off on my own straight into a little heart starter. A steep uphill right off the bat just to wake you up and get the heart pumping. And another start to the day. It's 8 o'clock, got 40 miles to Pie Town, so hopefully 2 more days. 0 degrees overnight, not too bad, a little bit windy in the morning. Well, nice start to the day. I've just thankfully reached the top of my last major peak, so hopefully it's basically all downhill, sort of trending downhill towards Pie Town now, which is about 35 miles away, 32 miles away, so getting closer. It's funny, Chip Crusher and I've been saying for about the last 2 days how it's all downhill to Pie Town, but now I'm hoping it actually really is. The trail's a funny thing. Sometimes it's as obvious as a road or a track. Other times it's the faintest little indentation on the landscape. Sometimes it's hard, rocky, painful on the feet, which is most often, but sometimes it's soft and cushioning with the pine needles. Sometimes it's easy to find, sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you'll be on it, clear as day, and the next second it just disappears right from under you. Without the gut hook app that I'm using, I think I'd definitely be lost, well and truly. But it's funny how it changes so much. The trail is trending downhill and the walk is becoming almost leisurely. This can't be right. That's not how the CDT goes. But I enjoy it while it lasts. It makes for a very nice change. I am here at Rincon Well, and as you can see behind me, the water tank is full to overflowing. Now if it's good enough for the cows, it's good enough for me. So, that's what you do. Actually looks pretty clean. Then, what we do, get this bottle of water, put a filter on top, and we're set to go. Back into it after lunch, and it's blue sky, lovely clouds. Getting late in the day, the hike turns into a marathon push to get as close to Pie Town as possible. This way we can make it early into town without the day disappearing on us. At the top of the world store, 3 miles before Pie Town, laundry is number 1 on my list of priorities. After 7 days in the wilderness, my clothes need a wash, and so definitely do I. Every afternoon in New Mexico, it seems, get beautiful cloud formations against this lovely blue sky. At 5:30 p.m, and having already been hiking for nearly 10 hours and travelled 34 kilometres or 21 miles, we would normally be looking to find a camp, but today we are pushing on. We are now down in a big wide open grazing plain with no distinguishable trail on the ground. We are back to searching out poles in the distance. This is made difficult by the fact that a lot of them are laying on the ground. The earth is very sandy, and it's my guess that the cattle use them as scratching posts, unwittingly knocking them over. It seems the official route of the CDT is conspiring against us as the trail heads off in a direction away from Pie Town and into this big wide open expanse. Like a little tumbleweed blowing in the wind. I can only surmise that the more direct route involves crossing private land, that the landholder does not wish to have hikers traipsing across. So we are back onto uneven ground, and my left foot, after all the rocks previously in the day, is killing me. It's either bruised in the midsole or I have strained one of the tendons, perhaps both, because it's giving me hell. And we still have another couple of hours to go. We are treated to a magic sunset, and the skies out to the east turn a soft pink hue. I try to get it in a photograph, but the camera never captures it quite the same. Still, it's a great vision. A whole heap of deer out there on the horizon. It's not long before we end up setting camp up in the dark. The day's mission has been accomplished with a total of 42.5 kilometres or 26 miles hiked. I'm tired and very sore, but hopefully this will pay off with a much shorter and easier day tomorrow. This has been my longest section between resupply, and I'm ready for a day off to recover. So it's something quick to eat by the light of my headlamp and straight to bed. Highway. Here's the official entry point at this side of Pie Town. So we're on a 12-mile road walk into Pie Town now, and normally road walks are not that great. They can be quite hard on your feet. But after yesterday's long day, 42 k's or 26 miles, and just walking across the rockiest, broken up terrain, my left foot was killing me. For the last 3 hours I was really just limping along. So it's actually nice to get on some hard, even pavement for a change, so at least I can start walking properly again. Yes, I was really just had to walk on the ball of my front left foot because it was just too painful. So it's nice to, like I say, just be able to walk along a bit for a while. So it was -4 this morning, Celsius, 25 Fahrenheit, which was a chilly start to the morning. We generally wake up early when it's that cold, and we're only 2 inches off the ground. It makes for a chilly, harder start to the day. But we've got a 12-mile highway road walk into Pie Town. There's a little store called Top of the World, about 3 miles short of that. There's a laundromat there. So I'm looking forward to getting some clothes washed and then getting myself washed. After 7 days, I'm in need of it. This is the Toaster House, and it's a famous house in Pie Town for hikers and tour divide riders. And the house is provided by a lady named Nita. It was her family home. She raised 5 kids here, and now she's left it for hikers to use as a pit stop on their way through town. Just an incredibly generous thing to do. This is what happens to trail runners after 300 or 400 miles on trail. They end up here, hanging on the wall at the Toaster House.